In the rolling hills of Blackwood Creek, a small farming town where everyone knew everyone's business, stood a weathered, lopsided shack at the edge of the woods. It was surrounded by overgrown briars and ancient oaks. This was the home of Silas Thorne. Silas was a man of few words. His face was etched with deep lines from years of sun and wind. His beard was a tangled mess of silver, and he walked with a heavy, uneven limp. To the local children, he wasn't just a neighbor. He was a ghost story.
10-year-old Oliver Vance and his friends had a dozen theories about Old Man Thorne. They'd see him every evening, disappearing into the thick forest with a heavy, tattered burlap sack slung over his shoulder.
Be very
Whisper.
quiet.
I bet he's a poacher,
The
Oliver would
dogs
whisper
saw
to his
us.
little sister Lucy Vance as they watched him from behind the safety of a fence. Or worse, that bag is always full of something heavy. One humid Saturday afternoon, Oliver and Lucy were playing near the edge of the creek. Lucy, always the adventurous one, went chasing a blue butterfly deep into a rocky area known as the Devil's Hollow. Minutes later, a sharp scream cut through the quiet air. Oliver ran toward the sound, his heart hammering against his ribs. He found Lucy at the bottom of a steep, muddy embankment. Her leg was wedged between two jagged rocks, and she was sobbing in pain. "Don't move, Lucy! I'll get you!" Oliver yelled, but as he tried to slide down, the loose dirt gave way. He was stuck, helpless. Suddenly, the bushes above them rustled. A tall, shadow-like figure stepped out. It was Silas Thorne. He stood there, looking down with those piercing, pale blue eyes, clutching that mysterious burlap sack. Oliver froze. He was terrified that the man they had whispered about for years was finally going to do something terrible. Without saying a word, Silas dropped his sack. He didn't look angry. He looked focused. With surprising strength for an old man, he climbed down the embankment, his boots gripping the mud firmly. He reached Lucy first. Oliver watched breathless as Silas's large, calloused hands Oliver thought were capable of malice, gently cradled Lucy's ankle. He spoke in a low, gravelly voice that sounded like shifting river stones. "Steady now, little bird. It's all right." With a practiced tug, he freed her leg. He didn't stop there. He reached for his mysterious sack and pulled it open. There were no traps inside, no stolen goods. Instead, Silas pulled out a clean roll of gauze, a small jar of homemade ointment, and a handful of dried grain. He softly wrapped Lucy's scraped leg and handed her a small carved wooden bird to distract her from the pain. "You're not a poacher?" Oliver stammered, finally finding his voice as he climbed down to join him. Silas looked up, a faint, sad smile touching his eyes. "The animals in these woods get hurt sometimes, son. Tangled in old wire or falling in holes. I just spend my evenings checking on them. This bag is just full of things to fix what's broken." Oliver felt a hot wave of shame wash over him. He realized that while the whole town had been busy calling Silas a hermit and a villain, Silas had been spending his life being a silent guardian to the creatures that couldn't help themselves. Silas helped him back up the trail and walked him nearly all the way to their farm. Before he turned back toward his lonely shack, Oliver stopped him. "Mr. Thorne," Oliver said quietly, "I'm sorry for everything we said." Silas patted his shoulder with a heavy hand. "It's okay, Oliver. People usually look at a man's clothes or his silence and decide who he is. But the eyes can be fooled. Only the heart sees the truth." From that day on, the ghost of Blackwood Creek was gone. In his place was a friend. Oliver and Lucy often visited Silas, and they learned that you should never judge a book by its cover, or a man by his shadows, because sometimes the person you fear the most is the one with the biggest heart.